Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 7, Episode 15. Love means never having to say I'm sorry. That is the title of tonight's episode of Sisters. And please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, because the more you do like, it goes through the algorithm, and more people will start to view my commentary, my content. And I also do like just little celebrity news and gossip, just what's going on around the town. Not too much. I just kind of dabble in it a little bit. Things that interest me. And also, yeah, I love when you do comment, because when you comment, it keeps the interaction going. And I do like to see your feedback when it comes to the Tyler Perry Sisters. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this episode. It does start where it left off on last Wednesday, when Jordan's assistant was trying to bug Jordan's place. And he didn't really know what he was doing, but he was on the phone with the guy Hudson, and Hudson was telling him to put the bug on the back of a picture. So while the assistant was putting the bug on the back of Jordan's picture of him and Andy, Jordan walks through the door and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was saying, "Oh yeah, I was just admiring the picture of Jordan and Andy, and how beautiful Andy was and all of that." And so Jordan, he's faking, "Well, I don't pay you to do this. I pay you to do your job." And while he's just trying to scold him, he starts laughing like, "Oh, I'm not worried about that." I was like, Jordan's dumb. Yeah, Jordan is kind of slow. Yeah, so while he's telling his assistant, "I don't care about all that," or whatever. Yeah, my girlfriend, she's a very beautiful woman. And while he's talking about his girlfriend, Andy comes walking through the door with breakfast. Is it me, or does Andy's face look stiff and shiny? I guess it's the Botox. I don't know, but she just looks kind of swollen, stiff, shiny, or whatever. Anyway, so Andy comes in and she's just like, "Oh yeah, I brought you breakfast and all of that." And that was pretty much what it was in this scene. Yeah. All right, so now they're taking baby Michael on. Now he is catching the bus. And I was like, he's catching the bus? Well, I don't think this is school. This has to be, yeah, this is that school he goes to for kids with development issues. So I guess it's not a real bus. It must be like a caravan type bus or whatever. Because I know, like, in public schools, they don't allow kids to ride the bus until they're like 5 years old. So maybe it's a different type of bus. I don't know. But he's going on there to the bus. And um after Zach takes him to the bus, they come back in, and Zach is concerned about his talking because he's not talking right away. And Fatima is telling him, after everything that he's been through, it's going to be kind of hard trying to get him to come up to speed with the other kids. And Zach suggests that they take him to school every morning because he doesn't want him to be bullied on the bus. So that's why I'm like, what kind of bus is this? Because if all the kids kind of have developmental issues, I mean, why would they put, I don't know, different age groups or people on the same bus? I'm really not sure. I'm not versed in that situation because I never had to be in that type of situation. But I mean, I don't know. I thought he was going to a special school, but I guess you can get bullied in any type of school. Anyway, so Fatima let us know that her and Zach have full-time jobs. And I was just trying to figure out, what is Zach's actual full-time job, because the last I understood on Zatima, he didn't want to work with Bryce anymore. And he was telling Bryce like he didn't want to do any contracts. So I don't really, maybe he's doing it by himself. So yeah, and the school is like an hour and a half away. So that is a long time. They're just going to have to try to figure something out when it comes to baby Michael and their busy and full schedules. All right, so back over at Karen's shop, Trey comes in, and Trey is telling everybody hi. And Pam flirts with Trey, and Trey does flirt back with Pam. And so Pam asks Karen, what do you think about pretty much somebody? First, she asks Pam, is she cool on Trey? Like, ain't no feelings there. You not looking at Trey like that or whatever. And Karen is like, no, I'm pregnant. I don't have time to be thinking about all that. So Pam is just like, what if I want to hook him up with somebody? And Karen is like, one of your hood rat friends. And she was like, no, me, I want to holler at him. So while she's saying that she wants to talk to Trey, Karen spits out her drink. And I'm like, Karen, what you spitting out your drink for? And then Karen has the nerve to make it seem as if that Pam is not on Trey's level. I'm like, Trey is a delivery guy. He's a Mr. Fix-It. He's a hanger. I mean, he went to school and all that stuff, but he seems like he's just around the way type of person. And what you trying to say about Pam? Yeah. And Pam had to read her down. And because Karen's whole thing is, I thought that he would probably talk to somebody more like me. But earlier, Karen, you just said, yeah, Karen said. And earlier, Karen, you just said, what, one of your hood rat friends? So it was okay when it was one of her hood rat friends. But now, since it's Pam, you got a issue with it. But Pam had to get her together real quick. Like, no, we not the same. Because Karen said that they're not the same, her and Pam. And Pam said, you know what, right? She said, we are similar, but you're right, we're not the same. Yeah, we both are business owners. Yeah, we're both beautiful black women. But the thing about me, I ain't got two different baby daddies around the same time with two different. I said, okay. I ain't pregnant at one time by two different dudes at the same time. At the same time. And then she said, no shade. And Karen said, no shade. No, no shade taken. And it ain't shade, it's fact. It's just a shady situation. And Karen, you gonna have to eat that. And don't be trying to do Pam like that. And she is a business owner from Rooster Riches LLC. Don't do her. And if Trey want to holler at her, let it be. You need to worry about both your baby daddies and both your kids. Twins, I don't know. But anyway. So over back at the office with Sabrina and Maurice, Maurice is trying to figure out his life at this job. He's trying to fit in because he feels like everybody is pretty much, taking jabs at him and cracking jokes. He's like the brunt of the joke around the office, right? But Sabrina is just like, don't worry about all that whoop-de-whoop. So then Maurice brings up how is everything going with her trying to find a sperm donor. And Sabrina is just like, it's going. It ain't that many black men out here that's trying to give up their sperm. And that brings me back to the conversation that Judy, was Big Booty Judy and Debret had, because they found like a white sperm donor, and they were saying like it's not a lot of black men out there. So I guess it's true. And Maurice brings up Calvin. What do you think about Calvin being your baby daddy? And she was just like, I don't know about all that. I don't even think that he would even want to be, in that with me. And so Maurice is just like, unless you have feelings for him, it shouldn't be a problem, right? And Maurice also lets her know that Calvin is not with the Snow Bunny anymore. At first it was relationship, then it went down to it's complicated, then it went to, single when it comes to his Instagram relationship. I guess, how they say what type of relationship you in or whatever. So he's single now. And so Maurice says, because being that it's so hard for you to find a black man, to be the father of your baby, you might as well go ahead and get with Calvin. He was like, look, we just trying to get you pregnant. We ain't trying to have a whole relationship or anything like that, because being pregnant is what you want. You want a kid. And then he gets to singing the song. What's the song he started singing? But he was singing down though. I don't remember, but he was singing that. And I said, Maurice, you better sing. Ooh, yeah. Drinking water, still singing. I said, okay, do your thing. All right, so back over there at Jordan's house. This is her first time meeting his assistant, and he's talking about his resume, and Jordan is really proud of his resume and all these little accomplishments that he has had since he's so young. And so he went to one of the schools that Andy's, I think it was her nephew or cousin or somebody went to. I think his name was like Elgin or something. Elgin Barnes. And he was a school editor. And Andy was asking his assistant, like, do you know him? And his assistant was like, no, I was in my books. I was in the library, all that stuff. So maybe he really didn't go to that school. Maybe he didn't really graduate. And I'm just like, Jordan, did you really do your research? Did he really go there? Because now the red flags are flagging. Anyway, so they just kind of dismiss it or whatever. And then the assistant go ahead and leave. And Andy tries to kiss on Jordan, and Jordan ain't having it because he's still feeling a type of way, being that his pregnant sister is still not found. And Penelope and Andy were in cahoots trying to take down Gary, and his pregnant sister had all of this, this information that could bring him down, and they didn't allow Jordan to be involved. And Andy is apologizing once more, saying, Penelope didn't want you to know, she didn't want you to get involved, and all of that. So anyway, it is what it is. He said he gotta go or something. So all right, so Gary is back over at the office, and Gary receives a phone call from, I think, is it Egan? I think his name is Egan. I'm gonna call him Egan. I think it's Egan. Egan, which is the assistant of Jordan, which Gary and Hudson hired. And so Egan was saying that he is trying to contact Hudson by way of Gary, and Gary is like, well, why are you calling me? You need to be calling Hudson. He said, well, I've been trying to call Hudson, but he ain't answering the phone. And he said that he actually did plant the device over at Jordan's house. And so he was like, okay, well, that's good, whatever. And while he was talking, he said that Andy came by to visit. And so then Jordan's tune, it's not Jordan, but Gary's tune changed. So Gary is like, oh, what? So Jordan was there? Not Jordan, but Andy was there. And Egan was like, yeah, Andy was there. And then why is Gary unzipping his pants to relieve himself, if you know what I'm saying? He was feeling tingly in the below parts when the name of Andy was mentioned. So he is unzipping his pants and he's putting his hands on his ducker. And he's asking Elgin, child, what was Andy wearing? And he was like, I don't know. She was wearing something black. And then he got mad. Tell me what she was wearing. Because the assistant dude was like, what does that have to do with anything? Tell me what she was wearing. He was like, okay, she on a black jumpsuit with the, And he told, oh, yeah. Or while he's choking his ducker. Gary was choking his ducker. Listening to Elgin, Egan, whatever that boy name is. I'm going to call him E. Listening to E talk about what Andy was wearing. And so I know E was feeling kind of weird. He was like, well, you know what? Just tell Hudson to call. And so he gets off the phone. And so Gary couldn't finish. So what Gary decides to do, he decides to go and he calls Tamaria. So Tamaria on the couch with a sheet on. Child, I guess she naked too. Don't nobody sleep in beds, apparently. So he calls her on the phone and was like, what are you doing? I need you to come see me. And she's like, what? What you want to come see me for? So while he's talking to her, she starts tingling in her below parts, and she take her hand to touch herself. So I said, what type of freaky people am I watching on my screen? Is it the voice that's making y'all so tingly? What is going on? So while she's getting tingly, touching on herself, then Hayden comes down, and then she talk about, okay, Ain't Beatrice, I'm gonna take you to your appointment later. So she gets off the phone, and he's like, ain't Beatrice? What you talking about? Yeah, I gotta take my Aunt Beatrice to her appointment and all that stuff, right? So Hayden, he's suspicious as to what is going on with her because every time she around her phone, she keeps it tight to her chest, or she tucks it under a pillow or something. So he's just trying to figure out what is going on with you and this phone, Tamaria. But anyway, so Hayden is just like, oh, yes, mind you, she's still hot and bothered. So she goes to try to touch on Hayden. Hayden's like, nope, nope, I don't want to do this. I got to go talk to Miss Marie and all this stuff. And so Tamaria is like, every time it's always Miss Marie, Miss Marie. I was like, Tamaria, girl, he working on the case. He trying to bring this money to you. So why are you so upset, girl? Let this man do his job. Anyway, he leaving Fatima alone. He is being distracted. Let him do his job. So anyway, that's when Hayden tells her, like, this lady is giving me a big commission, which you obviously don't know about. And he told her that he want her to go and unthaw some shrimp and some crab because he wants some gumbo. And he want it by the time he get off work. And she get mad and call him a weak, a W-A-N. A WAN. Y'all know what that is? They didn't weak a ninja. Okay, calling him a WAN. All right, so that's it. So while Fatima and Zach were talking, they hear this hard. Hold on, let me get my knot. Hold on, that's not gonna sound good. Let me get child. I'm about to hurt my fingers. But that knot. That knot. That knock. And they like, who is that knocking at that door? Was it the police? Is it Deja? And then when they said Deja, I was like, did Deja have a baby yet? She should have been had that baby by Cam Newton. But anyway, so it's not Deja, it's Danni. So like I said in my trailer review, and go back and watch my trailer reviews, y'all. I really be on. I was on point a lot with this episode. So in my trailer, yeah. So Danni comes over there and she asks for advice, right, in regards to Tony and how she needs to apologize. And for one, I don't know why she apologizing, and for two, I don't know why she going over there asking Fatima and Zach about nothing when it comes to a relationship. Cause shoot, they barely in a relationship themselves. All the mess they got going on. But anyway, Zach, the first thing he say is she need to give him some head and fix him something to eat. And Fatima is saying like, just tell him how you feel. Tell him your true feelings. And Zach looking at her like, you don't even apologize to me, so why you want to give advice? So they even going back, and Fatima says she ain't never wrong. She's hardly ever wrong. So, child, anyway, they tell her what to do. Danni takes the advice, and she takes it on down to the airport. And Zach tell her don't be coming over their house no more. All right, so back over there at the office, Andy and Hayden, like they're co-counsels on this case with Miss Marie Willis. And so Hayden's sitting there with his chest out talking about, yeah, we found real estate properties, like we found houses over here, properties over here, and all of that stuff. And he said it was a lengthy, long, exhausting, investigation, finding everything in regards to her soon-to-be ex-husband. And so Miss Marie Willis was looking like, okay, well, that's cool. What's up? So the whole time that Hayden is talking, Andy is looking at her phone and she's kind of looking over her shoulder. I said, so Andy must got something big coming through. So while he finished his little findings, so her phone pings and the lady is one of the assistants or whatever comes through to give Andy the folder. And so Hayden says, oh, so what you're doing? You're doing multiple tasks while we're in front of Miss Willis. And so Andy was like, okay, whatever. So she brings out her evidence and come to find out he has over $75 million in NFTs, which is non-electronic transfers. And they found them. And that goes into the case. And Miss Willis is like, what? That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Andy. While Hayden over there looking dumb. Yeah. And he was confident because at first he was talking about he exhausted every option and did all this stuff. And Miss Willis said, well, since you exhausted everything, you sure missed this. which was good. And that's a win for Andy. See, that's what I'm saying. Andy is good when it comes down to this lawyer stuff, but she is dense as a doorknob when it comes to men and relationships and friends. All right. So, yeah, Fatima and Andy, they celebrate the little win that they got. And Fatima was thinking like maybe it's too soon to be trying to celebrate, because we don't want to get our hopes up because you already know Hayden probably somewhere. Hayden probably somewhere plotting and scheming too. But, they talk about that. They go ahead and leave. Well, Fatima go ahead and leave. And Hayden comes in and Hayden is just like, oh, so you don't, he said, don't undermine me while we're in the room with in front of Miss Willis. And Andy's whole thing is you started it. Like you're making this out to be a competition. I'm not. But since you want to make it a competition, it's gonna be what it is. Nuck if you buck. Be ready. So yeah, Hayden's tail is tucked between his legs. All right, so back over at the shop, Sabrina comes by to see Karen and says that she wants to go to lunch, or early lunch, and child brunch, right? So she comes to really kind of talk to Karen and get advice about what she should do when it comes down to Calvin being a sperm donor. Oh, and mind y'all, I left out something really important. Well, it wasn't important. It was funny when it came to Maurice and Karen. No, Maurice and Sabrina when they were talking. And remember that read that Phaedra Parks did on Kenya Moore when they were saying that she'd been going to the sperm banks and getting her babies and talking about the whole a white man doing what he need to do inside of a cup to get $10 to get a piece of her pizza. Why did Maurice say that? I said, okay, that was cute. Okay, so now back to Sabrina and Karen and Pam. So they come up, Sabrina asks Karen, what do you think about Calvin being her sperm donor? Pam comes around and say, oh, the light-skinned ninja. And Pam is like, oh my God, you need to quit eavesdropping. So it's mighty funny that now they're calling Sabrina the Blanche Nyland. Rose was not Blanche Nyland, the Rose Nyland of the group. And everybody sees Sabrina as being dense. Like she's just I want to say innocent, dense, kind of aloof. It's just like she's just, yeah. So now they're actually talking about this on the show. It's like everybody's been saying it. Now they're putting it in the show. Anyway, so Karen actually really did give her great advice because she did say, look, whatever you do, it's not what I say. It's not my opinion that matters because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one to carry this child and you're going to be the one that's going to have to deal, with him. And Sabrina is just like, but how do you feel about being pregnant by your ex? And Karen is just like, look at me. I'm pregnant by both of my by both of my exes at the same time. At the same time. I was like, yeah, she does have a point. So Sabrina, at the end of the day, it's on you. It's whatever you want to do. It's whatever decision that you want to make. Pretty much. So, yeah. All right. So, Gary is still calling Tamaria to come down there to the office, right? And so Tamaria is starting to play the game. She's playing the game that we were suspicious of from the beginning. And she's not picking up Gary's call. So Gary texts her and says, don't ignore me. And then Tamaria says, don't make me tell my man. And Gary says, that fool. And then Tamaria says, well, how about I show him better than I tell him? And she uploaded that video of them messing around. Because earlier in the conversation, what I didn't say was Tamaria was like, I'm not just finna jump up pretty much to your beck and call whenever you need me, because what am I getting out of us just jumping up and down on each other? Gary's whole thing was, well, you getting what I'm getting, I guess a quick bustle, but Tamaria's like, no, I need some cash, cold hard cash. And I'm like, thank you, Tamaria, finally you showing up. Now you not acting like you gullible, like you just want to jump up and down on somebody. Get your money, black girl, get your money. However you get it, and be good at getting it. And so now Gary is over there at his office. Oh, I hit my leg. God, dog. Over at his office, banging on the table. I was like, boy, okay, whatever. So Hayden goes over to Gary's office and he's upset. Clearly, he's upset because of Andy. He calls, that B Andy. Now he said that B, and so Gary is like, so which one? You got Andy, you got Fatima, you got Tamara, and Hayden is like, hey, don't do Tamaria. And so Gary is like, so really you catching feelings? He was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm stuck on her. It is what it is. And so Hayden says that something is off about her. Gary instantly goes, so you think she's cheating with another man? And he said he don't know, but the thing about it is, whatever it is in her phone. Whatever it is, because she keep that phone tight. She bringing up aunties that I ain't never heard. I was like, I bet it's a lot of aunties, uncles, and cousins that you ain't never heard. You ain't been married to this girl a good month, so I'm pretty sure you don't know everybody in her family. But that's neither here nor there. So, and when he said whatever she has is in that phone, I don't know, either a light bulb came on in Gary's head, like, I need to get that phone, or you might see me in that phone banging down your wife. Either or. It is what it is. All right. So Jordan now comes to get Andy's office to tell her that he apologized. Pretty much. He apologized and he brings her some donuts or some child. They going to lunch later. All right. Back over at Karen's shop, Karen and her mom, they're about to go to get something to eat. Aaron comes in with the double strollers talking about its state of the art and all that stuff. Karen instantly gets upset and just like, what are you doing? Do you not remember the conversation that we had? Because the conversation was like, I don't need you coming up to my shop. I don't need you overdoing everything, whatever of that nature. And so Aaron has had enough. He was just like, you know what? I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it now or whatever. He says a few little cuss word here and there. And he apologized to Mama Lisa. But he's just like, look, you are upset all the time. You mad. You pretty much bitter. And you're taking that on everybody but yourself. You mad at your friends. You mad at Zach. You mad at Fatima. You mad at everybody. But the only person that fails to take accountability for how they treat people is you. And you need to get it together. And he also said that you have never allow a man to take care of you, and that's the reason why Zach really couldn't get with you, because you didn't even know how to allow him to be the man that he needed to be, outside of him cheating on you and all that other stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So he was like, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna take care of my kid, because what you're not gonna do is come between me and my kid, and I'm gonna be there for the other child too. And Karen was just like, oh, because Karen was like, well, you could at least let me pick the color out for the stroller, but hey, it is what it is. So Aaron put his foot down and he left out the door, and Karen is just like, Mama, you don't think he was too hard on me? And she said, girl, he told you the truth, and that's probably the hormones that got you feeling the way that you feeling. The mama said, I'm trying to go get something to eat. Come on, you'll be all right. Get out your feelings or whatever. Should Aaron be popping up at her place of work? I don't believe so, because she did tell him before, come to my house. And also another thing too, I understand you want to buy stuff for the kids, but when you have big purchases like strollers and cribs and all that stuff, allow Karen to be involved, because I'm a woman. Like, when I had my kids, there were particular items that I wanted. I didn't want any type of stroller. I didn't want any type of color. I was very meticulous when it came to the things that I got for my kid. So would I have felt some type of way if somebody would have bought me a stroller? No, I would not. But what I would have said was, give me the receipt so I can go get the color that I want, or I can go get the kind that I want. Just give it to me and I'll go get it or whatever, because you said this is state of the art. Yes, it can be, but I want it in the color and the look that I want. Yeah, I have that right, because I'm carrying these kids. And I remember, child, quick story real quick. When I had my daughter, and I was 2 days postpartum, because you stay in the hospital for 2 days. So they let me out the hospital, there was a certain car seat that I wanted for my daughter. And when I tell y'all, I went to like 5 stores until I found the car seat that I wanted for my child. I went to 5. And when I tell y'all, I was 2 days out. My mama already told me, you gonna get set back. You better get somewhere and sit down. I was like, look, I'm trying to get everything I need before I get somewhere and sit down. And I go sit down. But right now, I want this car seat because I gotta take my daughter to the doctor in like a week, because then you a week out. You gotta take them to the hospital to get their week checkup. And I didn't want her in any type of car seat. So yeah, I understand. And I got the car seat that I wanted. And it was cute. Anyway. So now back over at Fatima and Zach. Zach is now being a help because when Fatima comes in, he's telling Zach about the day, about the win that her and Andy got. And Zach says, you know what? Because Fatima said she was going to start dinner, but Zach was like, you know what? Don't worry about dinner. I got it taken care of. I got some wheat pasta, noodles, and child cornbread salad. I don't know, breadsticks. He got it already, he got it already prepared. And so Fatima was happy about that. And Zach said, because I'm going to be there. And I was happy that Zach is stepping up to the plate because Fatima, we don't need no more D's. Like, if you want to have a study session, just call me. We get on a group meet and we can, do this thing. We can do this and share screens and all that stuff. So, Fatima was happy, and then she brought up the idea to Zach about a nanny. And so, they did the high five. And then Zach was like, yeah, that's a good idea, or whatever. And so Fatima was like, she ain't gonna be cute. Zach said, well, give my high five back. Give my high five back. But anyway, it is what it is. As long as you got somebody in there that's taking a load off of you, and Zach, that's all you need. Just make sure she's a nice person and she gonna do her job right. That's all. All right, so I'm back over at the airport with Tony and Danni. And to be honest, I really don't care. I really don't care because I don't like the fact that Danni had to apologize because Danni was not wrong. Danni was not wrong in this situation at all. It's all on Tony and it's his bad kids. He got them BADs. He got them bad kids. You know what I'm saying? What they call BAKs? Y'all know BBAK. Yes, that's what they got. That's what he has. But come to find out, Danni said that Zach told her how to apologize and Fatima told her how to apologize. Zach told her to give him some hand and cook him something to eat. And Fatima said, to express the feelings. So she expressed her feelings first and said that, about Karen. She's been watching Karen go through this thing with her baby. And then she's seen Sabrina go through this thing wanting a baby. And, Danni said she never wanted a baby. She didn't even see her life being that way. But now she has got with a guy that has BAKs. She's willing to deal with it and put up with it. I was like, oh, okay. All right. And she says that she should have been watching the child a little bit more. I was like, oh, okay. So that child ain't old enough to know that not to be rummaging through people's things. Knowing this ain't your house. You just can't sit down and look at TV or sit down and play your game until your daddy get here. Oh, okay. Anyway, whatever. So Tony accepts the apology. He says, okay, well, what did Zach tell you to do? Kiss. So she kissed. And while she trying to kiss, the door opens and voila. She said, oh, so yeah, I'm Tony's wife. And Tony says ex-wife. And Danni over there looking confused. Like, okay, G.I. Jane lady. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah, this is Sheila Bila. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you thought about this episode of Sistas. It was okay. It's like they're trying to move the storyline forward. Now we have to see how Danni is going to navigate with Tony's ex-wife being there. How is she going to navigate this? It's always something after another. And then we see Sabrina. What's she going to do? You going to get Calvin? Because old Buddy Rich don't even want no kids. But anyway, I'll do a trailer review for the upcoming episode. Please don't hesitate to watch that. And y'all, let me know what y'all think. Yeah. Sheila Bila. Bye.